Hello and welcome to Sideways. In truth, I'm not the most organised of people, and some might even say I'm slightly chaotic, but there are certain things that I like to do in the same way every time at the same time. So I'm in that sense very much a creature of habit and routine. One of those things is making notes about the episode so that I can record this introduction on a Wednesday morning in the park when I'm walking with the dogs. It is Wednesday morning and I've forgotten to make my notes, and anyway I haven't finished editing the episode, so I'm a little bit uncomfortable because I can't remember what we talked about other than me feeling upset about the change in name to Pret a Manger, which they now apparently call Pret, which is a disgrace. So there's not much I can tell you about the episode, except that it's the usual fare, and this week we're talking about trying to keep things in perspective, and so I'm trying not to worry about this introduction too much. Keeping things in perspective. Come on, girls.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
You all right?
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm in good shape, thank you.
You've got a red T-shirt on today. I don't remember seeing you in a red T-shirt before.
No, I don't wear many reds. This is just one. It's got Buzzcocks written on it. It's a Buzzcocks T-shirt.
Is that is that the band that you like that you haven't got any music by?
I love them, and I've got loads of their stuff.
Yeah, that's that one dealt with then.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, thank you.
Didn't we used to cover one of their songs?
Ever Fallen in Love? We did, didn't we? Yeah,
we did. Yeah.
Yeah, great track, which has been covered by many other bands.
Not as well as we covered it, though.
Absolutely not, no, because we had a bass solo running in it halfway through, didn't we? Which was great.
All right, yeah. How pretentious is that?
Oh, no, it's great, wasn't it? Anyway, should we get back on track?
Yeah, well, what do you mean back on track? Have we actually got on track?
Not really, no.
So should we get on track?
That's it. We'll start on track. We'll get to the start of the track. Yeah.
All right.
So I'm going to just tell you what my notes are headed up as.
Yeah.
Which is getting things in perspective.
Okay.
Which is...
it's fairly self-explanatory, isn't it?
It is really, but I think it's quite important for everyone who wants to sort of reduce stress and anxiety. But I think it's particularly poignant for those of us that want to maintain a successful recovery from drug and alcohol issues. Because I know from observations in groups just how much stress and anxiety can seriously hijack your recovery. So it is an important point. And I can often... Sorry, did you want to say something, mate? Sorry, I cut across you, didn't I?
I was just going to tell you that I was pleased that you meant that type of perspective, because I was worried briefly that you might be wanting to talk about the perspective that you use as an artist, and I thought I'm not going to have much to add to that, really.
I could have we could have talked about disappearing points, couldn't we? And,
you've lost me already. That's it. Already gone.
But no, it is the perspective of everyday events, really, and putting them in places to where they should be.
Excellent.
And I was just going to go on to say that I can, when I'm, again, just the observations I see in group, that I can see people's recovery getting back on track, or getting on track, when they start to be less irritated by the small things in life and start to find small things enjoyable. It's a sort of a tipping point, and it's a good point when you think, oh yeah, they're starting to get it now. And I'm sure people said that about me when I was at that point. So
the day when you recognise that dropping a teaspoon on the floor isn't the end of the world.
Exactly. That's about it, really. Yeah. And the small things like the smell of a freshly brewed cup of coffee is a joy. Yeah, you got one there. Yeah, I've got one in my Father's Day mug.
Oh yeah, it's Father's Day, isn't it?
Which we'll come on to later. Yeah.
Oh, we've got a Father's Day bit, have we?
We have a little bit. Yeah, just
Excellent.
at the end there. Yeah.
Lovely.
But before we start, I talked last week about the Aspire to Be trip to Whitstable, if you remember rightly.
Yeah, I do.
Where we like to encourage family and friends to join us.
Yeah, I've never been encouraged to join.
No, you haven't. No, you don't fit under either of those banners, really. But I think you'd probably be more than welcome to join us on one occasion. But I suspect you'd turn it down because you were grumpy. And if it's outside of your schedule, well, that's it, isn't it? You don't want to know. So one of the guys brought along his dad.
Nice.
And we got some nice feedback from his dad. And he was saying that it was lovely how welcome everyone made him feel. And he was surprised how normal everyone was.
Wow.
Which is, I think we was thinking, is that complimentary? Yeah, it probably is. But, we don't see ourselves as normal, really. It's a strange thing.
I suppose
we like to be a sort of outside of, we have our own little clan, our own little group.
Yeah, it's almost the definition of a backhanded compliment, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It was obviously meant in, with kindness.
Yes, it was.
One could
Absolutely.
receive it as sort of wonder what you expected then.
Well, that's it, isn't it? But I remember having exactly that same thought when I first went into groups. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to see a lot of crazy people, then I just didn't.
Yeah.
But this guy, luckily, he was a really nice guy himself. He was a West Ham fan and he liked the Ramones. I mean, what more do you want? Onto the subject matter, because I think we all know, don't we, that everyday hassles, they can get us irritated and stressy. And there's a couple of phrases that came up. I was thinking about this as to some of the phrases we use that illustrate this when we get irritated over little bits and pieces. And I don't know if you said it or if you ever hear people say things like, I can't believe this is happening to me.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Or why is this happening to me? This is awful. I can't stand it. And it's the sort of phrase that we throw about. It's in that, just at that point, isn't it, when things are we're getting irritated.
Yeah. Yes. I've heard people say that many times. I've probably said it many times myself.
Yeah. I think we all have, haven't we?
Yeah.
And I think that when I was looking at this also about putting things into perspective, it struck me that it's quite similar to, we did an episode on catastrophizing. Mm-hmm. It's sort of, it's similar to that in some of the bits that come up, but it's sort of a little bit more nuanced. And I think if you can get things into perspective, you're less likely to catastrophize. So it's almost like a prequel to our episode we did before.
Yeah, so I think it's also there's another connection to catastrophizing, and that is that when you're thinking about ways of getting things into perspective, so improving your ability to do that.
Yeah,
it's one of the ways in which I think you have to do it is you have to be aware of your personal tendencies. So if you have a tendency to catastrophize, being aware of that and being able to acknowledge that might be what you're doing when you're blowing something up out of all proportion is quite a good way of diffusing it.
Yes, it is. You're right. Yeah, it does, because it does start to put things into perspective at that point, if you can recognise it. So they are quite interlinked. So how do we put things? What are the steps we should look at when putting things into perspective, which is what I sort of research, really.
I was going to say, I expect you've got some, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. I'm looking forward to them.
Well, there's one that I remember I'll come on to, but there's one I remember you telling me about many years ago, probably way back in the day when we used to have a little meeting before I went off to
Pret a Manger.
In Pret a Manger. Just called Pret these days, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah,
they've dropped the a manger quite a long time ago, yeah.
Did they? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. It's too much of a mouthful. Hey, boom.
I'm not very happy about that.
Perhaps you're not, but it's just called.
Why does everything have to be shortened all the time? Why can't we leave things as they are?
Exactly. When someone say, "Oh, can I have your deets?"
Yeah.
That rewinds me. I mean, that's not really much of a shortening, is it? It's a word that doesn't need shortening.
No, it's ridiculous. It's upsetting me. I can't believe this is happening to me.
Get it in perspective.
I'm getting it in perspective. I'm never going in Pret a Manger again, and I refuse to call it Pret. I'm always going to call it Pret a Manger in the same way as I will always call them opal fruits and not Starburst. Okay, well, you as you wish, as you feel. Yeah. If that helps you deal and not to catastrophize about it, then that's fine. Anyway, let's get things back in perspective then at this point, and look at the reasons why or the steps we should take to help us get that. The first one that came up was ask yourself, what are the costs to you and other people around you when you overreact? That's what we're looking at really here, when we do sort of blow up a very small thing out of all proportion. Mm-hmm. You've got to consider at that point what effect is it having on your own emotional state and those around us, because I think we can
when other people see us lose their temper over small things, it can have a negative effect on them as well, can't it? But certainly on our own emotional state,
it can. Yeah, I think the impact it has on your own emotional state is the one that is probably is likely to be most influential. You know, if you recognise that you're flying off the handle at the tiniest little thing, like the changing of the name of a sandwich shop, if you recognise that is something that's making you miserable, and you see yourself doing it consistently, I think that's probably, quite honestly, more likely to change your behaviour than realising that other people get a bit fed up with it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You're kind of caught up in a whirlwind of your own emotion, aren't you?
You are. Which is
bloody manger.
Yeah. That's upset you, mate, isn't it?
It has upset me.
I'm bringing the news, which is months, maybe years old. So,
well, I don't get out much.
No, obviously not, mate. No, you should try. Anyway, what we should do, reading on from what you're saying there, we should stand back and observe at that point when something upsets us. You know, because I think we usually upset ourselves about our interpretation of events rather than what's really happened. Perhaps the Pret a Manger one, it's not a big deal really, mate, is it? You know, they've just dropped a couple of...
That's an exception, because that is a big deal, clearly.
I think it's a great example.
So hang on, what was this? What was the suggestion here? Stand
back and observe it, really, and to, not to, because our interpretation of the events, that's what we really need to look at, rather than what's really happening. Because I think, again, it goes back to catastrophizing, but it's a very small issue. And we perhaps have interpreted it in other ways. And we can go off in all sorts of angles, can't we, once we start to worry about things or get annoyed about things.
But what you put, so when you stand back and you observe, so you kind of recognise you've got yourself het up.
Yeah.
And you stand back and you observe, what are you doing? What is that? What is that observation? What's the purpose of that? What are you thinking at that point?
Well, I think you detach, don't you, from the actual problem? You know,
right.
I think that's really a detachment way of doing it. So you can stand back from the issue and don't let it worry you, and you can then put it into perspective as to where it stands as a big issue in your life, really.
Yeah, because there are other things. The reason I asked the question is because I think when you stand back and you observe something, there are probably other things that you need to do as part of that observation, aren't there? Because otherwise there's a danger that you kind of just go round and round in a circle with that same thought.
Yeah.
Because, let's face it, most things that people catastrophize, trivial as they are probably not as trivial as the renaming of Pret a Manger. So, for instance, if you are, let's think of a typical example. Oh, I don't know. This is one that comes up a lot, and I bet it probably comes up a lot with people in group. When you text someone on WhatsApp and you can see they've read it, but they've not responded, right?
Yeah.
The old blue tick anxiety.
Yeah.
That really sends a lot of people into a flat spin.
It does, doesn't it?
So people might feel very affronted if it's a friend. They think, well, why have you flipping read it and not responded? Or if it's your partner or, someone you're in the foothills of a relationship with, then you start to get anxious about, maybe they don't really like me. What the hell are they doing? And so when you sort of stop yourself and you stand back and you observe there are kind of other things that you have to, perhaps you're going to come on and talk about some of those.
Well, yeah, some of the next point was, remember, it's not the end of the world. And I think that
it might feel like the end of the world to me. So, if I've started dating someone and I've texted her and she's not responding for 4 hours, that probably does feel like the end of the world.
It might feel like it, but you have to remind yourself that it's not. It's
Do you think that's enough, though?
It's temporary. Well,
see, I think at that point, I think it's useful for you to ask yourself, okay, what other possibilities are there here?
Oh yeah, in that particular instance, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Because there's loads of possibilities, aren't there? I do it. I sometimes read messages and think, I'll respond to that later.
Yeah. I know that.
Yeah, because
I'm quite often on the receiving end of it.
Well, you think sometimes I pick it up at work, for example, and I look at it and think, right, I don't need to deal with that straight away, but I can deal with this. When I get to lunchtime, for example, or whatever.
Yeah, I might have sent you an amusing video of someone falling over. I might see that you've read it and obviously watched it, and then nothing. Bloody tumbleweed for hours.
Well, I know. Okay, if it's a video, I don't have time really at work to mess around watching videos.
You're so busy, aren't you?
Well, I'm just painty. I've got paint all over myself. I can't, So it is, but I can understand that anxiety, and I've had it myself. But yeah, you do go through all these different scenarios, and you're catastrophizing. You're looking at the worst case at that point. I mean, it's easier to try and focus on the best case at that point.
Yeah, well, it's not easier to. It's better to, but it's not easier to, is it? Because I mean, if I send you a message and I see you've read it, and then you don't respond for about 6 hours, I think that's it. He's relapsed, obviously.
Yeah, he's down the pub. Yeah,
he's down the pub, isn't he?
Yeah, well, exactly.
I've said something, haven't I? I've upset him.
So you've gone right to the far end, haven't you?
I bet he's down Pret a Manger with someone else.
Someone else getting proper advice. Exactly. Yeah. So you've gone right to the far end where you need to rein that in, don't you?
Exactly. Because what I do in those situations, I think, well, what are the other possibilities? Well, one is he's covered in paint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two, I know he's a selfish bastard anyway, so I wouldn't expect any different from him.
Yeah.
And probably, multiple other possibilities. But I think that is an important thing for you. It doesn't always work, but I think it's useful for you to kind of consider what might be alternative explanations for this patently disrespectful behaviour.
Well, yeah, I agree. And there's another story. It's just occurred to me, actually, where I started to, I wasn't getting things in perspective straight away because we had a power cut the other night, and I don't know if you had it where you are, but there was a power cut, and it was dark.
I might have been asleep.
Sorry?
I might have been asleep.
You may have been, because it was dark outside.
Oh, I definitely would have been asleep.
And when the lights went off, it was absolutely pitch black here in my flat. Right? So I could see nothing. Yeah. It was literally nothing at all. All the lights that are outside that normally light up the gardens and stuff, all gone out. Yeah. Nothing I could see.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I've got to get my phone because it's got a light. And I thought, oh my God, no! I remember it was on 1% last time I looked at it. So I haven't charged up. And I was trying to find my phone, and I stubbed my toes on the coffee table. I was cursing. Of course, things were racing around in my head. What's happened? Have I not paid my electricity bill? Or what's it? If we got is this going to be out for hours? I'm not going to be able to put my alarm clock won't go off in the morning now when I go to work. And mate, I was getting myself in a terrible panic. Yeah. I had to put it in perspective. Suddenly, boof, the lights came back on and everything was okay again.
Okay. So you were saved from having to regain perspective. But do you think you would, had there been a power cut all night long?
Yeah.
As Rainbow sang about once, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Was that about a power cut, that song?
I don't think it was. I think
it's just a power cut all night long. I don't know. Anyway, had that gone on all night long, do you think you would have been able to regain perspective? And if you were able to, how would you have done it, do you think?
Yeah, I would have, because I had started to sit it out. I thought, okay. I'll just sit this out because it won't go on forever. It's not the end of the world. And
it wasn't as bad as Pret a Manger, you were thinking, weren't you?
No, exactly. Yeah, there's worse things to worry about in the world. But I looked outside and saw all the lights were off everywhere.
Right.
I thought, so it's not just me. It's just a issue.
Okay.
It's obviously the whole of the block is out and the block's up the road. So I just sat it out really, and it didn't take long, and it came back on. Television suddenly flashed back into life. And away we go. And then you have to go. But what was it? Isn't annoying? You have to go around and reset the clocks on your microwave, cooker, and all that malarkey.
Don't bother. Just leave them not showing the right time. Doesn't matter, does it? Do you tell the time by your microwave then?
I don't know, but
doesn't matter then, does it?
No. But I like to have it right. I like to have them all. Do. I like to have them synced as well. That can be a nuisance.
You like to have them synced?
Yes. So the one on the cooker is the same as the one on the microwave because
to the second.
Well, if it's a minute out, it annoys me.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. But that's something I shouldn't worry about, isn't it? I should get that in perspective. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it doesn't. But then that kind of brings us on to another aspect of this, which is sometimes you have to make an allowance for the way that your mind works.
Yeah.
And actually sometimes doing that. So, for instance, I know I'm teasing you about it, but if it upsets you that there is a discrepancy between the clock on the washing machine and the one on the microwave, well, fine, get them synced. That's fine. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, does it?
True. No, exactly right.
So I think you have to kind of find this balance between recognizing when you are getting things out of perspective and also the things that make you feel kind of more comfortable in life, which is fair enough, isn't it?
It is. And it leads quite nicely on to the next point, really, because I remember you saying this to me a long time ago. I can't remember the context, but you said to me, how would you feel about this in a week or a month or a year? So whatever your problem is, because we're often hijacked, aren't we, by our overreaction to the present moment. So, and we can forget about it the next day, a bit like the power cut. It wasn't too long until everything fell back into place.
Yeah.
So, those intense feelings disappear, don't they, over time?
Yeah.
So you have to be patient, and this too will pass, sort of scenario, isn't it?
Yeah, that is one of my favourites. Obviously it's not easy with everything, but I've quite often have a conversation with people where they're going through something that's very difficult. I mean, even if it's something that they're perhaps not taking out of perspective because it genuinely is a real trauma in their life, I don't know, breakup or something.
Yeah.
But what happens, I think, is that when something very bad's happening, we imagine there's almost something inside us that says, oh, this is going to go on forever. I'm never going to feel different.
Yeah.
And if you consider something that you're going through in the context of your entire lifetime, quite often the things that we're really struggling with are like a pinprick on that line, assuming that we live a reasonably long life. So that is a way of getting perspective, to consider what it is that you're going through, however bad it is, in the context of all the years that you're living. And so even if it is something quite traumatic like a breakup, that's not, even if it lasts 6 months or a year or whatever, as difficult and as uncomfortable as it is, there's still a lot of life that isn't affected by that.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
so. That's
true.
quite useful.
It is. Well, I remember thinking at the time when you gave me that advice, thinking, yeah, that's quite good. That is good for you to come up with it.
I think it's the only good idea I've had in the last decade.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's why I remember it.
Yeah.
When you look at these events, trying to get in perspective, I think if you try and look at it just as an inconvenience, because it'd be nice if everything went our way all the time, wouldn't it? But the world's not like that. And rather than label it, I think sometimes we can label it in our own head as being awful or disastrous or something you can't tolerate. And if you try and see it as a minor inconvenience and it will pass, then I think it's easier to deal with it.
Yeah, that's true. That the observation that you make there, that we all have an idea in our own heads about how we want everything to go.
Yeah.
And I think we forget about that. And so in that sense, I think we've spoken about this before, that those two worlds that we occupy through our lives, the world in which everything happens the way we want it to, and then the world in which everything happens the way it does.
Yeah.
And so if things aren't happening the way you want them to and you can't make them, you kind of have to accept the way that it is happening, because if you don't, it means you're not kind of inhabiting either of those earths, those lives. And that is inevitably and always a place of suffering.
Just for example, and you've probably come across this as well, you might be talking to someone and they just look at their phone and they don't answer you back. And you get irritated. You think, oh, but it's not the end of the world, is it? It's an irritation. It's an inconvenience. But it doesn't change your life, but you just got to sit with it.
No, agreed.
Work through it.
Yeah.
Or let it explode and get into a proper row, which I think is probably, it doesn't do anyone any good. A bit like, what was his name? That comedian, Stuart Lee.
Oh, yeah.
When he caught that person looking at their phone at the front, he absolutely ruined them, didn't he?
He did, yeah. I mean, not all of us have that luxury of being a stand-up comedian that can ruin someone in front of 1,000 people. If you're just talking to someone and they rudely look at their phone. I mean, it quite often happens with my kids.
Yeah, but you let it go, don't you? I mean, you can have a word with it, but it's not. It's inconvenient, isn't it?
I let it go because I think to myself, well, to be honest, probably what they're looking at on their phone is more important and interesting than I am. So I can't really blame them.
But the last thing I just wanted to go on to really was just very relevant to us in recovery, is to remember the Serenity Prayer.
Oh, yeah, the Serenity Prayer.
Yeah, which I'll just quickly say the first verse of it.
Okay, do I need to close my eyes?
No, you don't have to do that. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. But it's the accept the things I cannot change is the bit that always sticks out to me, because that is getting it in perspective, isn't it? getting issues in perspective, the things you can't do anything about. So get it in perspective, and it's not something you're going to need to. Don't let it worry you. You can't change it. Let it go.
No, and the wisdom to know the difference is pretty key, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Because if you think, for example, that you can do something to change back the name of Pret-a-Manger, then clearly you're misguided, and you're going to expend a lot of emotional energy unnecessarily.
You are. I mean, you could spend your life emailing them, couldn't you, and get in touch with the CEO and all something and creating a fuss and have little placards outside there. We want the name back.
I might do that, actually. Do you think there'd be a groundswell of opinion behind me?
Oh, people will laugh at you. It'll lift people's day, wouldn't it? If when they see you getting abused in the street with your little placard.
I don't want to be a figure of fun. I can't even say it. I was going to say a finger of fudge.
You've made yourself one right there. But that's it, really. I think the only thing, just a little quote just to end into my notes with.
Gandhi?
No, it's not. I hadn't attributed it to it. I couldn't find who it was attributed to. But it goes like this. The only thing you sometimes have control over is your perspective. You may not have control over your situation, but you have a choice about how you view it, which is right, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, that sounds quite Buddhist, doesn't it?
It does. It does, really.
The Buddhists would say that suffering is in the mind, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I think that, but it wrapped it up nicely.
Well, that's so you say.
So I say. I'm happy with that.
I think I and the audience will be the judge of that.
Okay. Well, if you'd like to add something else to it,
I don't want to add anything to it, but
feel free. If
anybody wants to write in and decide that isn't a good way to end it, then please do let us know.
And I'd be happy to deal with the criticism accordingly. It's not the end of the world if you criticise me. It's just a minor blip, and we'll crack on with it.
All right.
So we'll go on to the gratitude list, shall we?
Yes. Okay. Well, I've got one inadvertently quite appropriate for this week.
It might be the same as mine. I don't know, but go on.
Really? I'm grateful this week for moderate discomfort.
Oh, no, it's not. No, in that case, wildly wide of the mark.
So
discomfort, is that due to the heat, would you say? Or?
Well, yeah, that's what sort of prompted it.
Right, okay.
Because I thought the word moderate is important here, because I don't want to tell people that I'm happy to be in discomfort all the time, because that would be untrue. But one of the things about moderate discomfort, like a sweltering night when you've got two dogs lying on your bed and no air to breathe, seemingly, is when that kind of breaks and it kind of feels fresher again. It's like the part that comes after the moderate discomfort, the relief, is a joy, isn't it? It's like, we've spoken about this before, people do everything they can to avoid pain and sadness. But actually, pain and sadness, if they didn't exist, then joy and happiness and comfort wouldn't mean anything, would they? So
no, they wouldn't.
So this week, I'm grateful for moderate. I should have put short-term discomfort on there, because getting out of it and feeling something different is obviously made more powerful by the existence of it.
I can relate to that. I get that sometimes when I perhaps just turn over in bed. You suddenly realise your back's hurting, your neck's cricking. And you turn over into your position. The comfort is glorious.
Exactly. Yes. Quite right.
Okay. Well, mine. I thought you were going to talk about, because on my gratitude list, I've got Father's Day.
I wasn't going to put that because I haven't seen any of my children yet today.
No. No. Mine was slightly ahead of schedule, because I saw my daughters, both of them, yesterday.
Right.
So it was an early It was like a Father's Day weekend, effectively.
Nice, lovely.
So it was lovely spending time with both of my girls. So it was lovely to meet up with Lizzie, because I don't get to see her so often.
That's nice.
Over at Emily's house, my oldest one. So that was lovely. So lovely.
And they gave you a mug?
No, in fact, this mug is from years and years ago when my children were quite wee. I only drink out of it on Father's Day. I think it's quite.
Do you? You've got enough mugs to have mugs for specific days of the year, have you?
Well, no, I don't have one for every day of the year. A lot of mugs in my cupboard.
Have you got your October the 13th mug?
No, if I have, there are some that I drink out of. Probably a superstitious one, like you, when you don't drink out of certain mugs on days the football's on, for example.
Yeah, I've got past that now.
You have, good.
Yeah.
Good. Well,
I put it into perspective.
you did put it into perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really pleased to see my children yesterday, and I opened the gifts that they gave me today.
Lovely.
Which was nice. And talking about perspective, the card I had from Emily, I'm just going to read you out the verse that's printed on this because I think it is relevant. Mm-hmm. And it pretty much sums me up. It's great. It says, "You deserve a Father's Day that's chilled out and relaxed. So why not put the football on and grab your favourite snacks? Because nothing in the world could be more stress and worry free than penalties and extra time and cheating referees. Enjoy your day." which again fits in nicely what we're talking about here, getting things in perspective. So that's it, really. Just going on to Spotify search.
Yeah, hang on. Perspective. Oh, I've got no idea what you'd have for that one.
No, I couldn't find very much. There's a track called New Perspective by Panic at the Disco, which I rather like.
Is that what you put on?
I have put it on there, yeah.
Is that just because you like the name?
I like the name, but I like the track itself. I thought it was good.
Did you? All right. Okay, I'll let that go then.
And the bands that we like but have never purchased any material, I've got the Pet Shop Boys.
I've got a Pet Shop Boys album.
Have you? Yeah, see, I haven't got any of their stuff, and I really like them. It's strange because I always like that when it comes on the radio. I think, oh yeah, it's good. Never bothered to buy any stuff.
My dad bought me a Pet Shop Boys album.
Did he?
Which I think is the only album my dad ever bought me. Let's not start on the muffled trumpet again. Whatever we do. Okay, so this week I've chosen.
Okay.
Well, it's not strictly speaking a band.
Okay.
But I've gone for Mozart because when my dad died, it was actually I suppose it was when my mum died because she died second, and we cleared the house out. My dad had a vast record collection, and by the time we got around to sorting that out, I think we got so sort of tired of sorting through all the stuff that we just let his record collection go. And I've always felt a bit sad about that. And I think there's probably a lot of stuff that would have been in his record collection that I probably would have appreciated now that I wouldn't have appreciated when he was alive. And I'm sure that he would have been able to educate me in the ways of Mozart. But as he's not here, I'll have to put it on the list of musicians, composers that I have no material by, but would like. So have you got any Mozart?
No, mate, no. I haven't got any classical albums. I must have. Actually, no, I've got a CD, I think, with the sort of classical greatest hits, as it were, on it.
You've got Hooked on Classics, haven't you?
Something like that. No. Is that the one that they're all rolled in together with a beat behind it? Yeah, no.
Shocking. Yeah. Shocking. Anyway, that's it then.
That's about it, mate. Yeah.
Good.
Okay, mate.
See you later.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Sideways was created by Graham Landy and Martin Pankhurst. If you want to read more about our work or sort through the extensive archive of past episodes, just visit grahamlandywellbeing.co.uk/sideways-podcast. You can follow us on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram at Sideways Podcast, and you can email us if you have a question or if there's something you'd like us to cover. But most of all, we want to tell you how grateful we are that you come and listen, and we ask that if you've enjoyed what you've heard, that you spread the word. And we'll see you next week.